Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to make a quick video for you on a high pass filter or a low cut. These are really important. They're the same thing, but they're so important, especially for guitar and amp modeling these days. So it's a good idea to know how to use it, because with amp modeling, you can do that from the get-go and make your sound engineer's life easier. You're going to sit better in a mix. Everyone's going to be much happier. So today, using my Michael TX and running into a quad Cortex with my 2-rock traditional clean 100-watt head capture, going into Logic Pro, and I'll pull out a couple different guitars. Here's what it sounds like. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this guy off. Like, sounds great. Love this amp capture. Have a little bit of room ambience going and some stereo spring reverb. But here's the thing. With those low end frequencies, they are long sound waves. They sit in that 20 to 80 hertz range, and you don't need that. Those frequencies are more felt. There are more rumbles and vibrations. Like in a arena setting, you're going to feel those from the subwoofers, and especially if they're like high quality and they're really pumping those subs, you're going to feel it and it's going to be pleasing. But in a mix with the guitar, it's not really musical at all. So you want to kind of cancel those things out. And best way to do that, high pass or a low cut, those are the exact same thing. So here's how we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to play this without the low cut, and I want you to take a look at kind of this range right about here. So like between this one and this one, okay? They stick around for a while. That's the rumble and the vibrations. I can even feel it in my in-ears. You don't want that. So how are we going to do that? We're going to throw on the low cut or the high cut. So let's go ahead and start at 80 and see what happens to that. Definitely drop, but we want to get those out even more. So let's go right about here. Every guitar and amp, even playback system, is going to be different. Much better. Probably can lower it a tiny bit. But you see, like right here, that's probably fine. Those low end frequencies, like in the 80 hertz to 100 hertz, are going to be like your kick drum and your bass guitar, and you don't want to fight with those. Okay. Another way you're going to cut that low end is with a type of drive that is right here. So this is a TS10 tube screamer. That's going to accentuate some of the mid ranges and it's going to cut the lows. So here's what that's going to sound like. And the signal is hotter, so those peaks right here are still accentuated. So even like gain staging, gain structure is important. And then let's see what happens if I switch to the bridge pickup. So let's go back to the clean. Now the bridge pickup, it's going to have less low end. And that's with this guy on there. Let's take that off. See, there's those vibration frequencies coming through, so we want to cut that out. Okay, let's go ahead and switch guitars here. See what happens with a Strat style guitar. So put this guy down. Mike Lowell Heirloom SX. All right, let's take a look without. So lower output pickups, so these are not as high, but let's see what happens here. Bring this guy in. Barely coming up right there. And even switching to like the 4th position. Same deal, it's not going to come up as much. All right, let's switch guitars one more time. Now this one, you might need to do a little bit more to. These are P90s, so they're gonna be a fatter single coil. My Mike Lowell JX, and let's go back to some cleans here. And let's turn the high cut off. So there's like a ton of rumble coming through. Let's go turn this on. Might need to get a little bit more dramatic. So a lot better. Turn a tube screamer on. All right, so especially with a P90 style guitar or even humbuckers, I have one in the back, but I think for right now, the point has come across. Don't be afraid to use the low cut. Some of you might say, like, is that going to affect the low end response of my guitar? No, not necessarily, because you want to be really diligent about how much you are cutting as to not go super tinny, because that could really happen. Especially if you have some in-ears or some really nice studio headphones, you're gonna feel that rumble and just kind of sweep that frequency until you're able to get rid of the rumble. So hope this helped. Give it a try on any of your amp modelers, even with a real amp and you're running some really nice preamps, EQ. Make sure you dial out some of that sub lows. That's really going to help you in the future. All right, take care, everyone.